Had some pretty big issues when I was doing my last live. I was showing you how I was adding profile types to my BuddyBoss site with my Pickleball project, and I added them after the fact. So I'd already had the site set up, and I added them after the fact. And after I added them, I was trying to show off how easy it was to get them all set up, and they didn't show up. So it took me a couple minutes to figure it out. Now I know how to do it after the fact, because I've always done it before we actually built the site out and made it public and started adding people. So this time what happened was I had the site set up. We had no member profile type. So everyone was just a member. I wanted to add different types of members, so I was adding more profile types. I showed you how to physically add the profile types in the back end. They weren't showing up on the front end, so I didn't know how to actually get them for the people who are already there be able to see them. So this is how I've done it, and I'll show you kind of in the background what's happened. So we'll just do a quick overview here. I'm logged in as an administrator. That was the first thing that happened. Some of these things don't show up or don't allow for the administrator to do it. So what I have done is logged in as other people and made some changes so it's updated. So here's what's going on in the background. I went to the administrator. I'm going to go to the dashboard here. And when I go to the dashboard, I went to BuddyBoss and I went to profiles and I created some profiles. So I've got my profiles and I created profile types. I set it up so we could add profile types. I added some profiles. We had one called player. And what I did is I had to make sure that this one right here, profile field, allow user to self-select from the profile drop down. Now I had done that, but they weren't showing up and I didn't know why. And here's the step that I forgot. When we go back, and this was part of the thing that happened. When we go back, and I'm going to go back to profile fields. Remember, these are the fields that the details one happen at sign up. There's the personal tab, which is all my personal details. Pickleball preferences, all about the game, and community engagement, how I'm involved in the community, that was there. And what I did is I knew that I wanted to have this opportunity for people to say, hey, I'm a fan, I'm a player, I'm a vendor, I'm a coach, those 4 profile types. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to add it. So I clicked add new field initially. And the problem is that the profile type was not available. So I rebuilt the community from the tools menu. Now it's available. And what I did do is I went through this and I set member type. And I said a profile type is what it was. I saved it. And if you look on the right, it says allows me to pick these particular profile types. Those are the ones I created. I saved it. And then this is what I got. So if we go back to profiles again, I'm just going to cancel this. And if we go back to the profile types, you'll see, in profiles, you see that there's one called member type here right now. So if I'm going to go and sign up and register new, and I open up another incognito window here, hopefully this shows up properly, you're going to see that when I go to sign up now, we'll go and try and register. You're going to see it shows up. If I create an account, you're now going to see what type of member you, and default is blank, and I've just got player, coach, fan, and vendor. Those are the ones that are there. So if I'm going to be a player, I might select player, fill in my details. You're probably going, okay, great. Now where does this show up and how do I use it? Well, here's what happens. I'm going to close this one up now. If I go back and I visit the site and I go to my friends/members and I go take a look, we now have the types are still here, right? Players, coaches, fans, and vendors. I have them in this order because that's the way I wanted it to have for orders. And you'll see that I've got players. I did a color for players. I have a color for coaches. And if I go take a look at a particular profile here, you can see there's a profile type here that says coach. So this lets people know, hey, this person is a particular coach. If I go back and I take a look and I go back to all of the members again, and I went to see player, you'd see that this person is a player. And one of the nice things is at any time, once we get the number of members up, I can go and say, show me only coaches. And it'll go through and it only shows me the coaches, or only vendors, or only players. And of course, on the right-hand side, we've also got some filter types. The one I'm going to add now is I will put a member type here, but is it a beginner, intermediate, advanced? So at any time, I could say, only go and show me players, and only show me players who are beginner players, and search. And now I'm going to be in a position where I'm actually going to be able to go and say, hey, there's one player, and they are a beginner. Okay, so this is going to give everyone an opportunity to be a little more clear, or categorized, or segmented based on what they are and what they aren't. Let's reset the filter there so everyone shows up. But it just gives us a whole opportunity to be a little more organized in terms of who the members are. Now, we still have the clubs or businesses that are involved. They're still available here. Okay. These profiles are not individual profiles. These are business profiles. So I've got it mentioned as clubs right now. I don't know if we'll keep that one, but we've got business categories, and I can, associations can be here. People who are, selling equipment, or facilities and courts, fashion and clothing. These are just some of the ones that we've set up. So people can go and say, hey, who are the people that are involved in, facilities and courts, or who's selling equipment? So people will be able to add their business profile as well as their personal profile, and we've got that set up now. So a couple things just to remember if you get stuck is make sure that you do add the new profile field to the sign up page, and also make sure that when you go and you do it in BuddyBoss after the fact, you're going to go to tools here in the admin menu, and what you want to do is make sure that you go and repair the community and run all of these to repair, just to make sure that they show up and make them available. The other thing that was kind of interesting here is if you have third-party apps or plugins that work with it as well, there is the import profile types here, so that you may have to import them. If you're using another plugin, it may allow you to import those other profile types that got created from other apps and bring them in there as well. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying these. These are live ones. I'm just going to be doing it as I'm working on my pickleball project. These are things that are kind of happening in the background. These are ad hoc, so sometimes mistakes happen. Sometimes I learn stuff or run into situations that aren't necessarily ones that we've run into before. And I just wanted to show them to you so you can see what's actually happening for us as we start to build out my pickleball project and as things go live here. So hope you make sure to join. It's mypickleballfriends.com or teachonline.io, our whole community for campus and community site builders, and trainingsites.io, where we create learning campuses and build courses for people. So hope you enjoyed it. Take care, expect the best, and we'll see you again soon.